HESI A2 Anatomy and Physiology Free Practice Test. Question 1. Impairment of which chemical concept would most directly prevent the following function, stores or transmits genetic information? Option A, ion. Option B, enzyme. Option C, anion. Option D, nucleic acid. The correct answer is option D, nucleic acid. A key clue is that this chemical concept is built from nucleotide subunits. It also stores or transmits genetic information. That combination is central to directing heredity and protein production. Question 2. A physiology item gives 2 clues. It produces digestive enzymes and bicarbonate-rich fluid, and it delivers secretions to the duodenum through ducts. Which option identifies the accessory digestive structure? Option A, hemostasis. Option B, bisovolumetric contraction. Option C, umbilical region. Option D, exocrine pancreas. The correct answer is option D, exocrine pancreas. The role tested here involves supporting digestion. This accessory digestive structure produces digestive enzymes and bicarbonate-rich fluid. It can also be identified because it delivers secretions to the duodenum through ducts. Question 3. Which option identifies the reproductive structure most directly associated with supporting infant nutrition and this function produces milk after childbirth? Option A, sperm midpiece. Option B, ovary. Option C, mammary gland. Option D, oogenesis. The correct answer is option C, mammary gland. This reproductive structure participates in supporting infant nutrition. It produces milk after childbirth, and it contains lobules and ducts responsive to reproductive hormones. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Stressed about your HESI A2? We can take HESI A2 for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. Which option identifies the mechanism associated with forming genetically varied gametes and both clues? It exchanges DNA between homologous chromosomes, and it occurs during early meiosis and increases genetic diversity. Option A, crossing over. Option B, independent assortment. Option C, respiratory pump. Option D, skeletal muscle pump. The correct answer is option A, crossing over. The function described is that this mechanism exchanges DNA between homologous chromosomes. A second identifying feature is that it occurs during early meiosis and increases genetic diversity. Together, the 2 clues explain the role in forming genetically varied gametes. Question 5. Which option identifies the skeletal structure or regulator most important for participating in joint formation because it forms an expanded end of a long bone? Option A, lacuna. Option B, diaphysis. Option C, epiphysis. Option D, perforating canal. The correct answer is option C, epiphysis. A key clue is that this skeletal structure or regulator contains mostly spongy bone with a thin compact shell. It also forms an expanded end of a long bone. That combination is central to participating in joint formation. Question 6. A review item describes a process that usually occurs in the widened portion of a uterine tube. Which option identifies it? Option A, proliferative phase. Option B, antidiuretic response. Option C, fertilization. Option D, a blood glucose regulation. The correct answer is option C, fertilization. For forming a zygote, this process unites genetic material from sperm and oocyte. It can also be recognized because it usually occurs in the widened portion of a uterine tube. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 7. Which option identifies the hormone associated with protecting the duodenum and both clues? It stimulates bicarbonate-rich pancreatic secretion, and it is released from the small intestine in response to acid. Option A, secretin. Option B, cortisol. Option C, glucagon. Option D, luteinizing hormone. The correct answer is option A, secretin. The function described is that this hormone stimulates bicarbonate-rich pancreatic secretion. A second identifying feature is that it is released from the small intestine in response to acid. Together, the 2 clues explain the role in protecting the duodenum. Question 8. Which option identifies the process whose key function is, sheds the functional layer of the uterine lining? Option A, transcription. Option B, proliferative phase. Option C, coagulation. Option D, menstruation. The correct answer is option D, menstruation. This process sheds the functional layer of the uterine lining. It occurs when ovarian hormone support declines in a non-pregnant cycle. These linked features explain the role in beginning a new uterine cycle. Are you looking for Get Actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access GED study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get GED answer key today. Question 9. A student is reviewing a concept involved in supporting upper-airway function. Which option identifies the respiratory structure with this function, lightens the skull and contributes to voice resonance? Option A, alveolar macrophage. Option B, a bronchiole. Option C, paranasal sinus. Option D, respiratory bronchiole. The correct answer is option C, paranasal sinus. The role tested here involves supporting upper-airway function. This respiratory structure lightens the skull and contributes to voice resonance. It can also be identified because it communicates with the nasal cavity through small openings. Question 10. A learner connects the clues transports absorbed dietary triglycerides away from intestinal cells and enters lymphatic lacteals before reaching the bloodstream. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, primary oocyte. Option B, G1 phase. Option C, chylomicron. Option D, cortisol. The correct answer is option C, chylomicron. The function described is that this lipoprotein particle transports absorbed dietary triglycerides away from intestinal cells. A second identifying feature is that it enters lymphatic lacteals before reaching the bloodstream. Together, the two clues explain the role in absorbing fats. Question 11. Which option identifies the muscles most directly associated with pushing or bringing the arm across the body in this function, flexes, adducts, and medially rotates the arm? Option A, tibialis anterior. Option B, gastrocnemius. Option C, gluteus medius. Option D, pectoralis major. The correct answer is option D, pectoralis major. These muscles participate in pushing or bringing the arm across the body. They flexes, adducts, and medially rotates the arm, and they forms much of the anterior chest wall. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 12. A student is reviewing a concept involved in reducing dryness and limiting some microbial growth. Which option identifies the skin structure or response with this function, secretes oil that lubricates skin and hair? Option A, tactile cell. Option B, sebaceous gland. Option C, hair follicle. Option D, dermal papilla. The correct answer is option B, sebaceous gland. The role tested here involves reducing dryness and limiting some microbial growth. This skin structure or response secretes oil that lubricates skin and hair. It can also be identified because it usually empties into a hair follicle. Question 13. Which option identifies the process with this feature? It occurs during early divisions after fertilization. Option A, cleavage. Option B, inhalation. Option C, ribosomal RNA. Option D, meiosis. The correct answer is option A, cleavage. This process participates in forming an early embryo. It produces smaller cells without increasing total conceptus size, and it occurs during early divisions after fertilization. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 14. Which option identifies the structure that extends the opposite limb during a withdrawal response? Option A, crossed extensor reflex. Option B, dorsal root ganglion. Option C, tooth. Option D, thalamus. The correct answer is option A, crossed extensor reflex. This structure extends the opposite limb during a withdrawal response. It helps maintain balance while one side pulls away. These linked features explain the role in supporting posture during a painful stimulus. Question 15. Which option identifies the muscle structure or process most important for initiating voluntary contraction because it transmits a motor minus neuron signal to a skeletal muscle fiber? Option A, calcium ion. Option B, neuromuscular junction. Option C, motor unit. Option D, cardiac muscle tissue. The correct answer is option B, neuromuscular junction. A key clue is that this muscle structure or process contains a synaptic cleft and specialized motor end plate. It also transmits a motor minus neuron signal to a skeletal muscle fiber. That combination is central to initiating voluntary contraction. Question 16. Which option identifies the bone associated with protecting posterior upper minus abdominal structures in both clues? It has no anterior attachment to the sternum, and it includes the last two rib pairs? Option A, hyoid bone. Option B, sacrum. Option C, tarsals. Option D, a floating rib. The correct answer is option D, floating rib. The function described is that this bone has no anterior attachment to the sternum. A second identifying feature is that it includes the last two rib pairs. Together, the two clues explain the role in protecting posterior upper minus abdominal structures. Question 17. Which option identifies the position that places a person lying on the left side? Option A, left lateral recumbent position. Option B, right lateral recumbent position. Option C, anatomical position. Option D, supine position. The correct answer is option A, left lateral recumbent position. This position places a person lying on the left side. It uses the side touching the surface to name the position. These linked features explain the role in describing body orientation. Question 18. Which option identifies the neural structure or cell whose key function is, marks the membrane voltage needed to trigger an all minus or minus none action potential? Option A, axon hillock. Option B, a threshold. Option C, ependymal cell. Option D, oligodendrocyte. The correct answer is option B, threshold. This neural structure or cell marks the membrane voltage needed to trigger an all minus or minus none action potential. It is reached when depolarizing input is sufficient. These linked features explain the role in initiating neuronal firing. Stressed about your HESI A2? We can take HESI A2 for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A learner connects the clues, balances heat production and heat loss, and uses skin blood flow, sweating, and muscle activity. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, thermoregulation. Option B, medullary respiratory center. Option C, oxygen diffusion. Option D, translation. The correct answer is option A, thermoregulation. The function described is that this process balances heat production and heat loss. A second identifying feature is that it uses skin blood flow, sweating, and muscle activity. Together, the two clues explain the role in maintaining a stable core temperature. Question 20. A learner connects the clues, contains an inner cell mass and an outer trophoblast layer, and is the stage that normally implants in the uterine lining. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, endosteum. Option B, blastocyst. Option C, T-wave. Option D, filtration membrane. The correct answer is option B, blastocyst. The function described is that this developmental stage contains an inner cell mass and an outer trophoblast layer. A second identifying feature is that it is the stage that normally implants in the uterine lining. Together, the two clues explain the role in supporting early pregnancy. Question 21. A learner connects the clues, receives oxygenated blood from the lungs, and collects blood from 4 pulmonary veins in most people. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, left atrium. Option B, tricuspid valve. Option C, aortic semilunar valve. Option D, left ventricle. The correct answer is option A, left atrium. The function described is that this cardiac structure receives oxygenated blood from the lungs. A second identifying feature is that it collects blood from 4 pulmonary veins in most people. Together, the two clues explain the role in starting passage through the left side of the heart. Question 22. Which option identifies the cardiac structure most important for directing blood into systemic circulation because it prevents backflow from the aorta into the left ventricle? Option A, left atrium. Option B, aortic semilunar valve. Option C, superior vena cava. Option D, a myocardium. The correct answer is option B, aortic semilunar valve. A key clue is that this cardiac structure opens during ventricular ejection. It also prevents backflow from the aorta into the left ventricle. That combination is central to directing blood into systemic circulation. Question 23. A learner connects the clues, provides rapid nonspecific defense, and includes barriers, inflammation, phagocytes, and complement. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, adaptive immunity. Option B, innate immunity. Option C, vaccination. Option D, passive immunity. The correct answer is option B, innate immunity. The function described is that this immune component or process provides rapid nonspecific defense. A second identifying feature is that it includes barriers, inflammation, phagocytes, and complement. Together, the two clues explain the role in responding immediately to pathogens. Question 24. A physiology item gives two clues. It performs much nutrient absorption, and it is the middle segment of the small intestine. Which option identifies the digestive structure? Option A, cecum. Option B, appendix. Option C, jejunum. Option D, ascending colon. The correct answer is option C, jejunum. The role tested here involves transferring digested molecules into circulation. This digestive structure performs much nutrient absorption. It can also be identified because it is the middle segment of the small intestine. Question 25. Which option identifies the skeletal structure or regulator whose key function is, provides dense strength along the outer portion of bones? Option A, medullary cavity. Option B, epiphysis. Option C, periosteum. Option D, compact bone. The correct answer is option D, compact bone. This skeletal structure or regulator provides dense strength along the outer portion of bones. It is organized into osteons in many locations. These linked features explain the role in resisting bending and weight-bearing forces.